Good day, everyone. I'm your MIL teacher, Mr. Aldrin G. Sikitin, and today we're going to talk about media and information sources. But before that, let us have first the lesson objectives. At the end of the discussion, you're able to differentiate potential sources of media and information and interview an elder from the community regarding indigenous media and information resources. So let us start the discussion. So first, let us have the definition of media and information sources. A media and information source is any that serves as a means of communication to a general public audience. These sources are important because the medium in which we receive a message shapes the message. In short, when we speak of media and information sources, these are tools or things wherein we can get data or we can gather information. Under these sources, we have the library. A library is a collection of sources of information and similar resources made accessible to a defined community for reference or borrowing. It provides physical or digital access to material and may be a physical building or room or a virtual space or both. So we all know that a library contains so much information that we could use when we are communicating. So a physical library is made up of a building with shelves, papers or books, pamphlets, magazines, and many more. A virtual library is composed of a virtual book wherein you could access anything by just one click. So we all know that a library is a great source of information. When we need those information in our studies or work. In a library, we could find numerous books and one of those are non-fiction books. So we all know that non-fiction books contains factual information. Biographies are an example of non-fiction or non-fictional works. Most biographies are non-fiction, but not all non-fiction works are biography by any means. Because a biography of a fictional character is really a fictional books. Another example is or are journals. Journals such as the Diary of Anne Frank is also a journal, but it is a non-fiction journal since it contains factual information or first-hand experiences of Anne Frank herself. Other examples of non-fiction books are how-to books or books that contains guides in doing something and travel books that we are using when we are going to someplace. Another example or another type of book is fiction or fictional books. Fiction is the product of the writer's imagination. Perhaps some of their elements are based on hints of truth, but they have been elaborated, fabricated, and used to embellish into a new story. Example of fictions or fiction books are The Sun Also Rises, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Their Eyes Were Watching God. Another example is the series of Harry Potter and The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So, fiction or fictional books contains imaginary characters or imaginary plot wherein those elements of stories are not real or we could not find them in the real world. Okay, so next is the internet. As defined on our last lesson or previous lesson, the internet is the worldwide system of uniform or unified computer networks that links millions or billions of devices across the planet. The internet is, by a long shot, the most well-known wellspring of data and the favored decision for news in front of a television, daily newspapers, and radio, as indicated by another survey in the world. So instead of watching a television, reading a newspaper, or listening to a radio to get information, we will turn into using the internet just to get the information that we need. So that's a great help for us in the recent years or in the recent days, since pandemic is still around us. So internet is a great help to easily access information or easily gather information that we are in need of. So here are the examples of internet media and information sources. The first one is the Wikipedia. The historical backdrop of Wikipedia formally started with the dispatch of Wikipedia on January 15, 2001 by Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger. Its mechanical and calculated underpinnings originated before this. The most punctual known proposition for an online reference book was made by Rick Gates in 1993. However, the idea of a free-in opportunity online reference book as unmistakable from simple open sources was proposed by Richard Stallman in December of 2000. So that is the basic or a short history of how Wikipedia was invented or started. The second one is Google. Google.com is registered as a domain on September 15. The name, a play on the word Google, a mathematical term form for the number represented by the numeral 1 followed by 100 zeros, reflects Larry and Sergey's mission to organize a seemingly infinite amount of information on the web. So, another great source of information is Google. So, in just one click of the search icon, you can get the information that you need or you want to get. The third one is Bing. Bing is a web search tool claimed and worked by Microsoft. The administration has its starting points in Microsoft's past internet searches such as MSN Search, Windows Live Search, and later Live Search. Bing gives an assortment of inquiry administrations including web, video, picture, and guide-seek items. Last on our list is Yahoo. Yahoo was started at Stanford University. It was founded in January 1994 by Jerry Yang and David Filo, who were electrical engineering graduate students when they created a website named Jerry and David's Guide to the World Wide Web. So those are the examples or some of the examples of media and information sources under the internet. So next, let us have the other media and information sources aside from library and the internet. So the first one are magazines. So magazines are periodical publication containing illustrations typically covering a particular subject or area of interest. The second one is the newspaper. Newspaper is a printed publication, usually issued daily or weekly, consisting of folded and stapled sheets and containing news, feature articles, advertisements, and correspondence. And lastly, we have encyclopedia. Encyclopedia is a set of books or book giving information on many subjects or on many aspects of a subject and typically arranged alphabetically. So those are the examples or different types of media and information sources that we could use when we are gathering information or when we are in need of a data. So again, I'm your MIL teacher, Mr. Aldrin G. Sikitin, saying stay safe and have a great day ahead.